I think there's something living in my walls. The following narrative has been adapted from police records, 911 transcripts, and documentation collected during the investigation of a reported home disturbance between November 12th and November 18th. For privacy reasons, names and addresses have been changed to protect the innocent and to avoid interference with the open case file. The subject of the report: a single occupant of a residential property in redacted county placed multiple emergency calls over the course of 6 days, each escalating in urgency. The final call came at 3:17 a.m. on November 18th and ended abruptly. Responding officers arrived on scene and made entry into the home, November 14th. I don't know exactly when the weird stuff started. I think it's been going on for a while, but I've only just started to notice. Now, every time I think back to something that could have been linked to forgetfulness or coincidence, my hair stands on edge. It started with small things: a book being misplaced, the thermostat being changed, or the doormat being shifted. Last night, though, I woke up at 2:46 a.m. I remember the exact time because I checked my phone. I thought I'd heard something upstairs, like slow, steady footsteps. Just 4 or 5 of them, then nothing. Maybe it was a tree branch knocking against the house. Maybe it was the house settling. I told myself all kinds of excuses to make my mind stop racing. But it didn't feel like that. It felt intentional. When I got out of bed this morning, the hallway light was on. I never leave that light on, ever, and my bedroom door, which I know I shut, was open about 6 inches. I stood there staring like an idiot for a full minute, just trying to convince myself I'd forgotten, that I was just tired, that I'm stressed. But I swear I remember lying in bed with a cold sweat, thinking about the footsteps or the knocking I heard last night, and the only light being from my dimmed phone screen. In fact, it felt darker than it ever has in my life. Transcript 911, call date November 14th, time 11:42 a.m., caller Susan Armstrong. Call type suspicious activity. Dispatch 911, what's your emergency? Caller, Hi, yeah, I'm sorry. I am not even sure this is an emergency. Dispatch, that's okay. Just tell me what's going on. Where are you right now? Caller, I live alone. And I've been hearing noises upstairs. Footsteps, like actual walking. I live at redacted. I thought it might be the HVAC or something, but it's too rhythmic. I checked the attic myself, didn't see anything, but I'm still hearing it. And I'm freaked out. Dispatch, do you believe someone might be inside your home? Does anyone else have access? Caller, I don't know. I don't think so. The doors were locked, and nothing looks disturbed, but it doesn't feel right. My friend Lauren has a key, but she hasn't been over. Dispatch, okay, officers are on the way. Are you safe? Caller, yeah. I'm downstairs. I know I sound paranoid. I just needed someone to hear me say it out loud. I feel crazy. Dispatch, it's no trouble. Officers are on the way. Stay on the line until they arrive. Pause, caller. It's just quiet now. Completely quiet. Like whoever or whatever it was stopped, or is listening. Report log: Officer D. Westbrook and Officer R. Allen. Time on scene: 11:56 a.m., 12:22 p.m. Conducted walkthrough of property at resident's request. No signs of forced entry. Attic and crawl spaces checked clear. Subject appeared nervous but coherent. Reported items out of place in home over previous days, but nothing stolen. Home otherwise orderly. Subject advised to contact HVAC technician regarding potential structural noises. No further action taken. November 15th. Didn't sleep again. Not sure how anyone could with the sounds above my head. I kept hearing the vent rattle in a way. That doesn't make sense unless someone is up there tapping it. Like a pattern, like breathing. There was a granola bar wrapper on the counter this morning. I haven't had those in the house in over a week. Did I forget I bought one? Am I that tired? I called Lauren this afternoon. Left a message. I was embarrassed, so I tried to make it sound funny, said. Something about needing a priest or an exorcist. I don't think she ever called back. November 16th. Maybe it's because I watched a scary movie. Maybe it's because I'm scared to sleep. Today, I decided maybe the joke I made yesterday wasn't a joke. I was raised religious. My dad was an alcoholic who cheated on my mom. And my mother committed suicide, but that didn't stop her from making us go to church every Sunday until she died. I called a local priest and asked him to come over. Last night, the bumps didn't stop. I found a door open that I know was shut. I can't tell if I'm being haunted, but something isn't right. He didn't say much when he arrived, just looked around. Asked if it had trouble sleeping, if I felt safe. If I was having spiritual symptoms, I didn't know how to answer. It's not a demon, he said eventually. I didn't say that it was. People always jump to that. Noises in the house, feeling watched, doors open. Lights flickering. They want it to be spiritual because that's easier than thinking they're losing control. But this, he gestured to the ceiling, this doesn't feel like a haunting. That should have made me feel better. It didn't. He prayed with me. I didn't really listen. I was too focused on the faint creak upstairs. I'm not sure he even heard it. He left after 20 minutes. Told me to get some rest. Said I should try sleeping with a light on. Nothing wrong with that. November 16th. Late evening, I didn't want to write this. It's hard to even type. I found a pair of my underwear on the laundry room floor tonight. Not in the basket, just on the tile, like it had been dropped. They were clean. Folded. I remember putting them away. I opened the drawer to check. Everything else was there. I've been telling myself it's stress. That I'm overtired and forgetting things, but I don't forget things like this. Not this clearly. Something shifted upstairs. Not a creak. Something moved. I froze in the hallway and listened. It went quiet again, like it knew. I sat on the couch for hours. Couldn't bring myself to go back to my room. Lauren still hasn't called me back. Transcript 911 call, time, 11:58 p.m. Caller Susan Armstrong, call type possible intruder. Dispatch 911, what is your emergency? Caller whispering, hi. Yes, I need someone to come to my house. Dispatch, can you confirm your address? Caller redacted dispatch, what's happening? Caller, I think there's someone inside my house. Dispatch, are you in a safe place right now? Caller M in the hallway closet. I didn't know where else to go. Dispatch, is the door locked? Caller, yes. Dispatch, what makes you think someone's in your home? Caller, I heard moving above me. And I found something earlier that wasn't where I left it. Something personal. Pause dispatch. Has anyone else been in your home today? Caller, no one. I live alone. Sound soft creak on floorboards. Caller whispers, please just send someone. Dispatch officers are en route. Stay on the line with me. Caller, I don't want to move. I don't want them to know I'm here. Silence, very faint sound movement overhead. Caller breathes. Heavily. Caller, almost inaudible. It's in the walls. Report log Officer M. LeClaire and Officer J. Rivers. Time on scene, 12:06 a.m. 12:37 a.m. Responded to 911 call from resident reporting potential intruder. Caller located inside hallway closet, unharmed but visibly distressed. Full walkthrough conducted. No signs of forced entry. Attic hatch closed. No tampering visible. No suspect found. Resident advised to seek temporary relocation. Declined. November 17th. I didn't sleep again. I thought exhaustion would catch up to me eventually, but it hasn't. If anything, I feel more alert. Not awake, just vigilant. Like him waiting, everything was quiet again today. Not peaceful, just still. The kind of still that makes your ears ring. I walked the perimeter of the house. Windows locked, latches secure. Nothing out of place. Except the photo frame in the living room, it was turned. Not knocked over, just turned, facing the hallway. Around sunset, I stood under the attic hatch. I didn't open it, just stared at it. I could feel something up there. Not a presence, not a ghost. Just an awareness. I think I'm done waiting. I think I'm going to open the wall. Final police report, November 18th. Time on scene 325. AM responding officers Sergeant E. Caro. Ofgati Greer responded to 911 call that ended mid-transmission at 3:17 a.m. No contact made upon arrival. Door found unlocked. Entry made under exigent circumstances. Interior lights were on. No verbal response from resident. Upstairs hallway showed signs of recent activity. Ladder extended beneath attic access. Hatch ajar. Claw hammer recovered on floor. Attic initially clear. Officers discovered irregular paneling near. HVAC ductwork in northern crawlspace. Recessed cavity located behind insulation and false framing. Inside one twin mattress, food wrappers. Water bottles, clothing, flashlight. And multiple personal items belonging to resident Susan Armstrong. Also present body of Susan Armstrong. Blunt force trauma, facial mutilation. Fingernail gouges observed on interior wall. Biological material recovered, testing pending. Resident secured. Investigation escalated to homicide, no suspect in custody. If you enjoyed the story, consider subscribing. But don't blame me if you can't sleep tonight. Until next time, keep the lights on and the doors locked. Goodbye.